next on All Access.
Like this. He runs through a big hole, and he's gone to the 50. A burst to the 40, alone to the 20. Damien Harris to the house. Touchdown, Patriots.
How do we feel about a Monday night victory?
Joining me now is the captain, Mr. David Andrews.
I think this is a really fun team. I really enjoy being on this team, and and I think we've had a lot of great additions and guys.
So cool what the NFL does with My Cause My Cleats. Allows the players to showcase their individuality.
Well, here we go. Ooh. Oh, yeah. These are pretty sweet.
The bye genie grants Coach Belichick one wish. What is Coach Belichick's one wish during the bye? Could be anything.
A win after the bye.
A historical performance that provided great theater results in New England winning their 7th straight game to catapult them to the top of the AFC. Hello, everyone, and welcome to Patriots All Access presented by GEICO. I'm Steve Burton. The Patriots' win over the Bills has Patriot Nation abuzz, and the Patriots team positioned for a well-deserved bye this weekend. We'll spend a lot of time analyzing the Monday night matchup, and so we begin by reliving the victory through sights and sounds of the game.
Let's go, Buffalo!
Beautiful dreamer, awaken to me.
Go Bills, baby, let's go!
Woo! Drops away.
Go Bills, baby!
Woo! They got nothing! Go Bills, baby!
Will all clouds of sorrow deep.
Let's go, Buffalo! This is how we do it. We taking home that W tonight. You know what I'm talking about. Let's go, baby. Buffalo!
Let's go! Let's go!
Welcome to Orchard Park, New York. It's Buffalo. It feels like December in Buffalo. Cold and windy.
Dominican Republic, man. Looking for a big running game tonight, big win.
Go, fellas.
We've come to establish dominance over the AFC East division. We're walking away with the #1 slot. Doesn't matter the temperature. It's time to go home, take the #1 seed.
Bills by a billion.
Bills by a billion. Bills by a billion. Hey, we were all chosen for a game like this. We were all brought here for a game like this. Hell, we choose to come back to this team for a game like this. Stretch head up, Payton dropped it, fumble. Take away for New England.
Hey, that's a way to start that. Nice job, nice job, nice job.
Hey, good job, Kyle, here on the edge. They're trying to test the edge. They're going to keep pushing it. It's a hard edge all game.
Physical football we got now. We got to play with great technique and fundamentals. Win the entry point, finish like hell, man.
Toss comes to the near side for Harris. He runs through a big hole, and he's gone to the 50. A burst to the 40, alone to the 20. Damien Harris to the house. Touchdown, Patriots.
You stay with the run game.
Yeah, baby. Yeah. Yeah.
They're going to go for two. They line up with Bolden in the backfield. Tosses it left for Bolden. Brennan with a run to the outside. He tiptoes to the end zone. He's in for a 2-point conversion.
Let's keep it going now. Let's keep it going now. Keep it going now. Keep it going now. Come on. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go.
Jones drops back. He gives to Stevenson, runs to the right. He's got a crease. Across the 25. Breaks a clothesline tackle and to the Buffalo 20. Snap by Cardona from the left hash. In place. The kick. A line drive headed to the uprights is good. His 33rd field goal, a league high. Bass in the stance, the snap in place, the kick is lifted to the uprights, and the kick is no good!
Quarterback's trying to make the play. We end up getting him on the second time around. Just beat discipline.
Takes the snap. Patriots come with extra rushers. A throw down the middle, and it's knocked incomplete by Miles Bryant.
This team isn't about, one person, isn't about egos, it's about winning.
Just two quick things for me, and then I'm going to turn it over to our orator. That's why we practice in this.
Tonight, though, is one of those nights, fellas, that you'll remember 10, 15, 20 years from now. You won't remember the cold, you remember the way we responded. It ain't gonna come to us easy, fellas. We're gonna have to fight and claw and scrap. Monday night, Buffalo, snow, wind, hostile environment. Nonetheless, how do we feel about a Monday night victory?
I just love those locker room celebrations. Back here with Mike Reese and Paul Perillo. Good to see you guys. Did we witness history here or what?
Yes, it's the first time I've ever seen Mike Reese on this set without a jacket.
Well, that's a good point. That wasn't the history I was talking about.
That's my historical takeaway for today.
I'm glad you brought that. Where's Jack?
Have you ever heard the comment like, I lost my shirt when I bet against a team? Oh, I lost my jacket.
Oh, look at this.
I picked against the Patriots.
We're going to cut you all kinds of slack.
I lost my jacket.
We're going to come up with that. All right.
Yeah, I know that there's been weather games, and I know the Patriots themselves were involved in a weather game that was probably even worse than this in Buffalo back in 2008, but just the manner in which the game came out and with the stakes, the ramifications of the game, yeah, it's one to remember.
Okay, fewest pass attempts in Patriots history. The previous fewest was 5 in the snowplow game. Fewest pass attempts in an NFL game since 1974. So when we talk about historical context of what they accomplished, how about those numbers?
All right. I want to talk about some narratives.
I knew Mike
coming out of this game.
That's why
He left his jacket in Buffalo.
But I had the number.
Let's talk about some narratives here. They ran the ball 32 consecutive times. Was Belichick trying to make a point here?
I think that's the way the game unfolded. I mean, obviously the conditions were the main factor in this game. You couldn't do what you wanted to do offensively. I don't think that Josh McDaniels and Bill Belichick, Mike, talked about this beforehand and said, we're not going to throw the ball at all today. I think they felt like if they could get a lead, they would be a little bit more conservative than normal. No, they didn't want to throw it all over the yard, but I don't think it was their goal to throw 3 passes, Mike.
No, they did not go into this game and say this is going to be a win by running game, period. They got the lead, like Paul said. They were playing a little bit of the chess match. Hey, this side is very, tough to go against the wind. Let's try to grind the clock a little bit so we can get it going to the other side. I think if game conditions were different, meaning the score, situation, they would have thrown it more.
I don't want to overlook the defense and how big they came up on a number of occasions, Paul.
Yeah, I think that was the key to the game. And I kind of look at the aftermath and the way the week unfolded, Mike, and say, like, are we not giving the defense the credit? I think we've talked about the 200 yards rushing and all the things they did by not throwing the ball in this game, but the defense ultimately allowed you to do all of that. The defense continuing to come up with stops, 1 for 4 in the red zone for Buffalo, that's the difference in the game.
Yeah.
Neither team really was able to move the ball effectively throughout the game. For all the rushing yards, they ended up with around the same amount of total yards, the two teams. The Patriots got a little bit more points. That was because of the defense, especially down the stretch, Mike.
Devon Godchow, have a day for yourself. That was like a nose tackle clinic. 10 tackles for him in 45 snaps. I didn't think that the Patriots played the type of fourth quarter that they would want in totality, but I thought what they did in the red zone, to Paul's point,
terrific stops when they had to,
was championship caliber football. And to me, I take it full circle. When they were 2-4, what were they saying? Like, we got to make those 1 or 2 plays that determine the outcome of games. They're making those plays now, I thought, defensively.
Great point.
All right, guys, well, don't go far because we're going to have you back at the end of the show to wrap it up. Hopefully you'll get a jacket,
We'll see.
Probably not. We'll be back with more Patriots All Access right after this.
Coming up on All Access.
Bill Belichick spotlights the Patriots' final defensive stand in his plays of the week.
There it is being released right there. You can see Miles transition from taking his man to falling back into the passing lane.
But first, we'll talk to Captain David Andrews.
You know, that's how it is this time of the year. It's just the next week's matters, just that much more.
You're watching Patriots All Access.
Patriots All Access is brought to you by Bank of America, official bank of the New England Patriots. By Putnam Investments and the New England Patriots, proud partners committed to an active game plan on the field and off. And by Pepsi. That's what I like. Pepsi, official soft drink of the New England Patriots.
I'm Lauren Spencer with your Week 14 Patriots Social Media Minute. Monday night in Buffalo was one to remember, and that was partly due to weather conditions that consisted of winds up to 40 miles an hour and some pregame snow. But that didn't seem to bother David Andrews, not one bit. Before Damian Harris turned in a dominating performance of 111 rushing yards on 10 carries and a touchdown, he spent some time with Boston's own Mark Wahlberg over the weekend and made sure to snap a pic for the gram. And while Matt Judon's signature sack celebration has certainly caught on during NFL games, last week we saw it emerge at the high school level. The Miaa Championships took place here at Gillette Stadium last week, and this player from Swampscott had the celebration down perfectly. That's all for this week. I'm Lauren Spencer.
No test to cram for, no game plans to study this week. Dan Roach checks in on a Patriots team well-positioned at the bye.
What's happening? That was a good win. I love it. That was a good win. I love it. Brandon.
Yes, sir, got one.
After a battle with the elements and the Bills, the Patriots hit the bye week feeling good. And why not? They sit atop the AFC standings and are riding a 7-game winning streak.
We worked very hard to get to this point in the season. We've been through a lot. You know, it's been fantastic to see this group come together and to see where we are now.
The older guys, I think, have a great message. It's just don't let anything in the bye week ruin something in the future. So just go get your rest, enjoy your family, and stay safe.
As good as things have been, this Patriots team knows there's a long way to go and a lot of work to do.
We're nowhere near close to where we'd like to be. And I think the most important games of the season, the most important times on the practice field, all that lies ahead of us.
Everybody was writing us off. Now everybody's on the bandwagon, you know, because we 9-4 in the morning AFC, but that doesn't mean nothing. 9 games is not going to get you in the Super Bowl, winning 9 games. 9 games probably won't even get you in the playoffs.
The Patriots have been going hard since training camp opened in late July, so the bye weekend is welcome.
I think the best thing about the bye is that you got this time to recover. You got this time to do extra film study, do a little self-scout.
We all know how important not turning the ball over is to Bill Belichick. Well, just how important? Well, think about this. At 2-4, the Patriots in the turnover differential were -3. In the 7-game winning streak, they're a +13. That's how important. For Patriots All Access, I'm Dan Roach.
All right, Roachy, thank you very much. Joining me now is the captain, Mr. David Andrews. I call you Mr. because you deserve that respect.
I don't know about that.
Hey, have you had time to reflect on how special Monday night was?
Oh, I mean,
First of all, have you thought out?
Yeah, it wasn't too cold, but no, I mean, you know, kind of moved past it, and now looking forward, you know, take these next couple of days here, get some rest, much needed rest, you know, and then, you know, the next thing that matters is next week playing Indy, so That's how it is this time of the year. It's just the next week's matters just that much more.
Okay, you've moved past it, but it was some history.
Yeah,
here. It was a bizarre game, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was. It definitely will be something we look back on and think about. Of the 2021 season. So, I don't know if I've ever thrown the ball as less as we have. So, but it was a weird thing, and I'm just glad to be a part of it.
Mm-hmm.
I think it showed a lot about this team. The mental toughness of this team
Sure.
and things we've done this year. And, but I think it just really goes back to a lot of our practice execution. I think, we had a windy day in practice that week. We're outside in these elements a lot of times when we don't want to be. So, we've got a nice indoor facility that we don't go in that much. So.
But it's there.
It's there. We have one. But, I think I can count on one hand the times I've been in it.
It's
in my career, yeah. They just want us to know it's there.
It's there.
So, but no, and there's something to that though, for times like that, and obviously just New England. We've got nasty weather here too. So, but yeah, I think it just was a lot of accumulation of practice and the work ethic and all the things going into this year this team showed.
Team chemistry is sky high.
Yeah, I think
on this team, and you can tell the players like each other. The players love each other.
Yeah,
on this team.
I think that's something I think I missed between 2019 not playing, and then even though I was around a lot, it's still, when you're not playing, it's just a weird dynamic. And then 2020 last year, we were just talking about it, not being able to be in our cafeteria, right? That's such a small thing, and that really doesn't do anything for us on football. That's not going to maybe help us block a 3 technique or nose tackle, but there's something to that, the team atmosphere and the game of football, and something as little as just being able to sit in our cafeteria and talk and eat with each other and getting to know different people. Yeah, and I think there's just something that you lost with that last year. So that's something I've definitely enjoyed, and getting to be back and doing that stuff.
Enjoy the bye week.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
You got it. The captain, David Andrews, I guess. We'll be back with more Patriots All Access right after this.
He captained the school's first Big Ten title in 23 years. From the University of Iowa, defensive end, Andre Tippett.
Congratulations to Patriots and Pro Football Hall of Famer Andre Tippett for adding another Hall of Fame to his already impressive resume.
Andre Tippett, University of Iowa.
The 1982 Iowa Hawkeye was inducted to the College Football Hall of Fame earlier this week in ceremonies in Las Vegas.
You don't get to this point by yourself. You got great people surrounding you. It's a pretty impressive group, and I am as honored as the next man to be part of this group.
Welcome back to Patriots All Access. Time to sit down, have coffee with this guy, Coach Belichick. And going back to 2008, you said it right after the game, 2008 was much worse. And you even go back to 1989, Giants versus Washington football team. How much do those type of games prepare you in your mind where, hey, on game day, we got to change a lot of things up?
I think it really, you remember those games, they teach you a lesson. And I think more than anything, you just got to make sure that you know what you can and can't do, or what you think you can and can't do. And kicking the extra point up into the closed end away from the tunnel, we thought was going to be a really tough kick. And so that, was a big factor in going for 2 points in our first score. And then you saw Bass miss the field goal from right around that area. And so again, I think in those kind of games, you kind of, can we shotgun snap? Can we not shotgun snap? Can we kick the field goal? Where is it in this direction? Where is it in that direction? What can we do punting the ball? What can we do kicking off? And I'd say, honestly, 2 of the best plays of the game were the fact that Nick Folk touchback the Bills twice, kicking into that 30-mile-an-hour wind, which would be impossible if you normal kick and the ball got up in the air. But because he line drive it and it hit the ground, was able to kick through, and it was phenomenal that those 2 kicks ended up being touchbacks.
All right, I want to go back to the running game real quick and watch you guys line up. And everything's tight formation, and whether it's tight splits or not, but Mike Owenu, I think, played 31 snaps out of 51 offensive snaps in this game as a third tight end. He's checking in, eligible receiver every play. What is that by design when you condense things and you try to run the ball out of that tight formation?
Well, it just gives your wide receivers an opportunity to be involved in blocking the force players or sometimes the defensive ends on those outside plays. And if you don't have somebody to crack block those defensive ends, it's really hard to get outside because they're lined up, outside of the tackle. So you're right. There are a lot of plays there, with Mike in there. I think that Bill Vinovich, the referee, probably going to bed last night saying 71's eligible.
I want to talk about team building. When you look at players and you try and build your football team, whether it's rookies, free agents, bringing guys in that can play in all the elements, how important is that to find guys that can play in all seasons?
Well, I think really all players eventually can do it. Sometimes it takes a little bit of experience and just kind of knowing, how to play and getting in the right mindset. But we had a number of players in that game that, told me it's the coldest game they played in, the windiest game they played in. And it was a factor. We've all played, some of us played in worse or coached in worse. So, but I think the experience really helped them, and certainly the experience that we have in practice out here where these fields can get kind of windy, wet, snowy, rainy, wet fields, wet balls, and bears can crank up the crowd noise. So we can make it pretty uncomfortable out on the practice field. And I think they were, what we saw in the game wasn't hopefully anything worse than what we've seen in practice.
All right, time now for the Ace Ticket Twitter question of the week, and it comes from @Eddie_Stans. The bye genie has arrived, Coach, and the bye genie grants Coach Belichick one wish. What is Coach Belichick's one wish during the bye? Could be anything.
A win after the bye.
A win after the bye. That's a good one right there. We got no game, no Bellustrator later in the show. How about we go back and look at some of the plays of the week that led to the big win against Buffalo? Fair, good one for you?
Sounds good.
All right, everybody hang around. More Patriots All Access. We'll return after this, and after that, we'll have plays of the week.
Coming up on All Access.
Find out who the Patriots' Walter Payton Man of the Year nominee is. But first, find out what causes are important to Patriots players.
This year, put the reason that I started sickle cell, my aunt Wendy.
You're watching Patriots All Access.
Patriots All Access is brought to you by Ace Ticket, where New England fans go for tickets to all their favorite events. Visit aceticket.com. By Dan O'Brien Auto. Come into any Dan O'Brien Auto Group store today and get your awesome protection plan. Keeping it awesome. By AdCare. Be recovery strong. Speak up. Reach out. Ask for help. Call AdCare at 800-ALCOHOL. And by Gillette. Look good. Game good. Gillette. The best a man can get. This player profile is brought to you by Pepsi.
Welcome back to All Access, presented by GEICO. NFL players have increasingly been given the opportunity to reveal their passions beyond the game through a variety of platforms. In this case, they can literally wear their hearts on their feet. And one of the best ways to express themselves through the league's My Cause My Cleats campaign.
Well, here we go. Woo-hoo.
Oh, yeah.
Ooh, these are pretty sweet.
I chose to represent Children's Tumor Foundation.
I chose to do sickle cell.
This is a very special cause to me. It's the village of Marici.
This is International Justice Mission, IJM, that me and my wife partner with.
It means a lot to me because my little cousin has NF. I've been doing a lot of work with CTF for a long time, and near and dear to my heart. These are fantastic. I'm so excited to wear them.
This year, put the reason that I started sickle cell, my aunt Wendy. picture of us at the Super Bowl back in 2011. She passed away 2 years ago. And then last year, a little quick dedication to the daughter that we lost, Miaa, little rainbow.
Anything else you want to add?
No, that's it.
That a lot of people don't really know about human trafficking. There are tons of people that are trafficked, that are in slavery, that are just trapped all over the world, and it's something that we need to raise awareness for, so hopefully I can raise awareness and do something about it.
It's the only facility for adults with developmental disabilities. They each get their own apartment. I've been involved with them for about 6 years now, and Colleen Reaney runs it. Colleen is my best friend's mother. This is a surprise for her, and I'm so excited to wear these. She helped start the organization, and thank you, Colleen, for all that you do. You do such a great job, and I got the logo on and everything, the Marici logo.
I'm just excited to represent a fantastic cause and a fantastic foundation.
My Cause My Cleats this year.
So cool what the NFL does with My Cause My Cleats. Allows the players to showcase their individuality. Bid on those cleats. Go to NFL.com/auction. And everybody has the opportunity to pick their cause with their cleats and raise money for their favorite causes and charities.
This is one of my favorite weeks of the year, where they're able to put their charitable interests on their sleeve, if you will.
Called an audible here for a few minutes. Over the last few years, the league has spent some time, more time, trying to emphasize how great the players in this league are and what you do in the communities, and trying to educate the general populace about how super the people are who play this game and how all of America should use more of this team support and effort. So in the month of December, they're going to highlight the individual work of players who are nominees for the Walter Payton Award, which every team nominates one person. And I want to tell you all who that person will be from our team. He started his foundation with his wife in 19, giving back to others in times of need. That started long before he was in the NFL. And since entering the league, he has supported and funded dozens of charitable initiatives, including his own events. He was our Ron Burton Community Service Award winner this year. So it's my honor to ask Lawrence Guy to come up here and receive this nomination for the Walter Payton Man of the Year honors, and try to shine all the work that he and his wonderful wife, Andrea, do in the community. They are, besides being a great player, they are great role models. Lawrence?
It's an honor. I do say thank you so much for this, but I always tell people it's not about how much money you spend, it's about the time that you go out there and spend with individuals. We have this platform to use for the good, and I say everybody has a voice in here. Use your voice. Your voice will be heard. Doesn't matter how big, how small. Just go out there and try to change the individual's life, because you don't know who you might touch and who you might inspire to be great.
Welcome back to Patriots All Access. No Bellustrator this week, but we do have plays of the week of the big win against the Buffalo Bills. Coach, end of the game defensively starts right up front with Devon Godchild. Talk us through this one.
Yeah, so this is really the big series in the game. Bills have the ball on the 14-yard line, down by 4. And I think they're, kind of trying to manage the clock a little bit here too, not want to score too early, and just get a good solid play in here. So they run the weak side zone play, and as you said, Devon Gottschall does a great job here of just taking Morris and kind of shoving him into the hole, and then his body handles the cutback area right there. So it's really a good good fundamental play, and Gottschall comes off and makes the tackle, along with Hightower here coming from the backside. So really a nice job right here, setting the edge, and Gottschall being in good position on the center, and then Hightower coming from the backside, finishing it off.
Is that a little bit different scheme for them in a running game than they were a year ago, where they had a little bit of success up there with Moss and company, where it's more out of 13 personnel than a two tights or a true fullback?
Yeah, Coach Dable really mixes in the zone schemes and the gap schemes, and they usually run them both against us, and that was that weak side zone that they like against our nickel defense.
Okay, obviously, Josh Allen, good with the legs, good with the arm, drove the ball well in the wind, and this is that fade stop he attempts with Diggs, with Jackson in coverage here.
Yeah, this was a big matchup all day, was JC against Diggs, and JC really did a good job on him. And this is a really good play right here with that back shoulder, which is similar to the play that Allen threw to him earlier in the drive. Here it's on the other side of the field and a little closer to the goal line, but JC's in good position, forces the ball outside here, and this is really a big play because it goes from 2nd and 9 to 3rd and 9, and that 3rd and long is a big advantage for the defense. So again, JC did a real good job for us in the game, and that was a big coverage play here. And 3rd and 9 play was the incomplete pass to Phillips, and then there was a false start penalty in there, and so now it's 4th and 14 at the 2-minute warning.
All right, this is the one, cover 0. You guys are in a big blitz, and obviously Adrian Phillips out of the game here, and Miles Bryant on the inside with Beasley, and they're running that double post backside. Talk us about the pressure that you put on Allen to make that quick decision to get the throw off.
This is similar to the 2019 game up there where we blitzed and Allen ran around and scrambled and threw the ball deep into the end zone up here in the corner, and JC batted it down. But they bring the tight end and the back end for protection. Usually they're in a 4 open type of set, and so here they bring everybody in. And so, it's 8 rushers against 7 blockers here. So you see as we come up to the line of scrimmage, Allen picks up the blitz here, and it's a 2-for-1 over here with the tight end on our 2 rushers on the backside. And this is McCourty coming free. So Devin's gonna end up forcing the ball out here. And then this is the double post down here. This is Gabriel on the outside, big tall receiver, of course, that caught the first touchdown pass, the Beasley here, and this is JC matched up against Diggs on the backside. And so as Allen lets the ball go here before Devin hits him, Miles is covering his man, but he can see through his man to the throw here, and is able to come off of his coverage as Mills is closing right there on Gabriel, and I think Mills probably is going to be able to break this up, but Miles, he makes a heck of a play there by coming off of his man. Once the ball's in the air, there it is being released right there, and you can see Miles transition from taking his man to falling back into the passing lane.
All right, Coach, that's 7 in a row. Love doing these. You get a little time off this weekend. Probably going to get tugged on to do some tree decorating, but I'm sure you're going to spend some time on the Indianapolis Colts, right?
You betcha, yeah. There'll be some honeydews, but it'll be, we'll get on the Colts here, and again, that'll be a big one for us next Saturday night.
All right, looking forward to it, Coach. See you next time. There's your plays of the week. More Patriots All Access will return right after this.
Patriots All Access is brought to you by Bank of America, official bank of the New England Patriots. By Putnam Investments and the New England Patriots, proud partners committed to an active game plan on the field and off. And by Pepsi. That's what I like. Pepsi, official soft drink of the New England Patriots.
tradition like few others occurred this week for the 28th season as the Kraft family, in conjunction with the Salvation Army, hosted 175 children from community centers throughout New England for an evening filled with holiday merriment.
Are you guys twins? You are? I have twin cousins too.
Something I'll always remember. Dogs always have had a special place to me, so when that was the best gift my parents could have gotten.
I love being here over the last 28 years, seeing them come in and the joy in their faces. I love watching them wrap up players.
Wow, you guys got 2 whole minutes left, and you're already so perfect. What else can be done?
Welcome back to Patriots All Access in our Bob's Discount Furniture Studios with Mike Reese and Paul Perillo. Do you want my jacket? I'll give it to you.
I was thinking bye week, Steve. You know, maybe we can kick it back a little bit, roll up our sleeves.
I heard you're a big Phil Collins fan. No jacket required? Is that what we're doing?
Shorts next week.
All right, the bye week. Is this the perfect time for the Patriots to have the bye week after rattling off 7 wins in a row?
Yeah, you know, Steve, I think it's, you know, the teams always say whenever the bye week comes that they're glad to have it, you know, especially as you get further on into the season. They need a rest. I think it is a good time. I think it was such an emotional win Monday night to gear it back up and having to go back on the road to play the Colts if the game were this week instead of next week. Yeah, I think it's a good time.
And it's also a shorter bye week. That's a point I would make. You're playing on a Monday night on the road, so that sort of takes you into, you lose Tuesday the next day. And remember, when they come back, they're going Saturday night on the road. So that's a longer week and then a shorter week when you come back. So I think that's part of it. And I'd go deeper than that. You saw Damian Harris didn't finish the game Monday night, hamstring. I mean, you think he needs a bye week? I would say absolutely it comes at a good time. Adrian Phillips, the safety with the knee, still trying to learn the severity of that. Good time for a bye week? I would say certainly for a key player on the defense.
You want these guys healthy. Big picture-wise, how do the Patriots sit right now?
Well, the win, I think, allows them to continue to control things. Like, they can win. They don't have to worry about other teams. Because it's a jumbled mess, but their strong conference record, Mike, has really put them in the driver's seat. They're in the #1 spot right now. They continue to win. There's nothing anybody can do to take that away from them. I think that's huge.
No question. I mean, to me, when you can say in mid-December that if you can take care of your own business and you don't have to worry about anyone else, that you can have playoff games coming through Foxborough and a bye when there's only one bye now with a new play, that is incredible, especially considering where we were about 6 games into the season.
No question, 2-4, which seems so long ago now. Biggest obstacle going forward? Outside who they're playing.
You know, basically what I said, you know, you look at all the division winners had 4 losses. So you slip up just once and suddenly you could be behind 3 other teams. And suddenly the complexion of the outlook changes a lot. And I would also caution, you know, Buffalo's got a tough game Sunday at Tampa Bay. But Buffalo's in the same position that the Patriots are. Buffalo wins all their games. There's nothing the Patriots can do about it. You know, they'll have beaten the Patriots in that second game, and they can get in front of the Patriots in the AFC East. So I think Buffalo is still a challenge, and I'm sorry, I have to still respect Patrick Mahomes, Mike. Kansas City has been winning just as almost as much as the Patriots. They don't look quite right to me, but they've won a lot of games.
Well, how about Tennessee, Paul? You know, I know when they came into Foxborough, Patriots took care of them, but they didn't have a lot of their key players. And to me, I will just say from my personal opinion, like after that game, I thought to myself, wow, if I'm Tennessee, like I'd like to see the Patriots again with maybe a few more of my players and take my shot at them, because I thought the way they play physically, they're a match to the Patriots. Whereas other teams, I'd say, you know, Patriots might be able to push them around a little bit. You know, and I would add one other thing. You talk about what the Patriots accomplished in this game against the Bills. Like I think they showed that they can win a game in adverse conditions when, you know, you got to rely on maybe one unit more than you expected. And I think that's the type of thing that can carry them far against any team.
It's amazing to me they haven't lost on the road yet.
No, and that was as tough a road environment as you're going to face, because not just the conditions, but you know the crowd was in it, and that was a live atmosphere. And we had talked a little bit about Mac hadn't really ventured into that. Now
you could argue that he still hasn't really ventured into it because he just handed the ball off all night. But I think Mike's point is valid because they've been able to show those old-time Patriot traits. Like, no matter the way the game unfolds, we can find a way to win it. And I think that's the stuff that does carry over into January.
Mental toughness.
Right.
That's what they're showing, and a running game that can carry you far.
All right, guys. Good to see you.
Great stuff.
Nice to have the weekend off.
Yeah.
Definitely enjoy.
That'll do it for this week's edition of Patriots All Access. For Mike Reese and Paul Perillo, I'm Steve Burton. Have a great week, everybody.